Hey guys, Kyle here from Team Moons, and today we're going to show you deck profile on the Herald Perfection Cyber Angel deck. This deck's really good this format. Herald of Perfection's always been good. I played years and years and years ago when Happy Heralds was a good deck, but this deck is just miles above because it got the one support that Herald needed, which is faster ways to refuel its fairies in hand for its negations, and also consistency. With the added Cyber Angel Ben 10, this deck has rocketed above anything it used to be before, and it's a super good contender this format. So getting into it, we have your three, of course, Herald Perfection. He's your main card in your deck. If you don't know what he does, he's basically a Solemn Judgment on legs. Negate any monster effect, spell, or trap that we activated by discarding a fairy card. Sorry. So he's like super broken. Cyber Angel Benton. Really good card. When this card's tributed, you get to search for any fairy in your deck, add it to your hand. You don't run the Machine Angel Ritual because you're not going to summon this. You're only going to use this pretty much to summon your Saphira or your Herald Perfection, so you can get pluses off top of that. You get your two Saphira. You don't run three because three is really cloggy. Like I said, it's a Herald Perfection deck. It's not really a Saphira Turbo deck, so two is really good. It has the draw power effect. It has the hand discarding effect. So it's really I want to say flexible for different situations. So he's really good to run. You have your two Manju. I was running three, but I found three was getting really cloggy because everything in the deck is pretty much searchable. So just adding more search on top of that, it just becomes dead. So I'd rather have other cards instead. But two is working really good. Because these are fairies, you why not just draw like 5 or 6 cards, right? So you're playing your sticks and your chairs. These are really good. You get the Ouroboros play, the Sigma play, and you get really good rank 4 exceeds with draw power on top of that. And if nothing else, then at least they're fodder for your Herald of Perfection for the negating stuff. So you can't go wrong with these. They're searchable, so you gotta run 2 Honest. Honest wins games. If Honest has ever passed 1, you should run more than 1. Like if you can run it at all, this card is just the nut. Like this is the good card that you want to run. Arcor Christia, really good in this deck because you can manipulate your graveyard however much you want, and creating that like soft lock is really solid with Herald and Christia that can't really play cards. That's it for the monsters. The whole rest of the deck is spells. You don't run any trap cards because Herald and Ritual Sanctuary. If you discard a spell card, you can search for pretty much any ritual type card in your deck, monster or spell. So you want to maximize the amount of times you can do that and how often you can do that. The second effect is really good too. You can return spells back from your grave to your deck to special summon a monster with the same levels of equal to the number of cards you return. So like you can recycle your Manjus, you can recycle your sticks, your chairs, anything really. It's great. And because you pretty much want to see this all the time, you also run 2 terraformings. I don't run 3 because, like I said, everything's searchable. So like, I don't know, 2 terraformings is just fine. I don't want to clog too much. Next for the ritual cards, you play 3 Dawn of the Herald. It's the best one. If you use Ben 10 for it, you get to have 2 fairies in your hand minimum, because Ben 10 searches a card. And if you resolve your chains correctly, you can banish Dawn of the Herald to add Ben 10 back to your hand as well. So that's pretty nuts play. Then you play your 3 Hymn of Light. Yes, you do only run 2 Saphira, but you're probably going to be discarding this with Ritual Sanctuary anyway, so it's not really a big deal, and you can always recycle it. These both also have the added effect that you can banish them from the graveyard to protect any ritual that you're going to summon in this deck from card effect or battle. But it's only destruction, so it's not too broken, but it's still really solid and gets you out of sticky situations a lot of the time. Next, you're playing your 3 pre-prepper rights. If you see this in your opening hand with like Herald and like a Ben 10 or something, like this card is just popping off that turn, just going crazy. Preparation rights. I think pre-preparation rights is probably better than this, but this is the one that's at 1. Well, for this deck anyway. You have to run this. You're playing a ritual deck, so 1 day apiece. It's just a really solid card. You don't really care if your opponent gets extra cards because you're just going to negate them anyway, so it's better to get into your combo pieces. Instant fusion because you have Norden and you do the rank 4s. Soul charge, you can get back your heralds and shit. It's really good. Regeki, you don't really need a whole lot of board clear in this deck, but like just the 1 backup card to do it is fine. And worst case scenario, if you don't need it, you can discard it with Ritual Sanctuary. And then 2 tech cards. The first is Book of Moon. This is what I took out the 3rd Manju for. This card's solid. It's good for an aggressive play or a defensive play. They can see that you have like 1 set back row, and you have Herald on the field, but no cards in hand, so they feel like they can just pop off. But if you have Book of Moon, it's a really good good combo stopper. They never really expect it because Book of Moon isn't really played anymore. And worst case scenario, once again, you can discard it with your Ritual Sanctuary to get pluses. And speaking of pluses, with Ritual Sanctuary, you have Metal Foes Fusion. There's 0 way to summon any Metal Foes fusions in this deck, but this card is just crazy because you can basically get free draw power off of your Ritual Sanctuary. So you can discard this Ritual Sanctuary, search your card, put it back, draw an extra card, so it's like a +2, it's great. For the extra deck, we have Instant Fusion target Norden, Amaterasu, because for your sticks and your chairs. I don't really go into this one. Deltros, I don't really go into that one much either. The ones you really go into are like Sigma and Ouroboros. What you see here now is probably pretty much the only thing I go into in the whole extra deck, other than 2 Fairy Cheer Girl. I do go into this quite often, just more draw power. It's crazy. It's also, you can have it on the field and not feel too worried because you do play Double Honest, so it's pretty solid. Dweller, sometimes you don't really need it in this deck because you do have your Herald to stop everything they do anyway. And everything else is just like, you can play it, I guess, so why not try? And these, Utopia Beyond and M7, since I started playing the deck, I've never gone into these at all, and I honestly can't say if I ever will. If you ever have to go into one of these, you're probably in a losing situation anyway, because the only way to get them out is with two of your ritual monsters, which, I mean, if you have 3 heralds on board, you're probably just overdoing it anyway. So yeah, you don't really need to go into those. It's pretty much just your Ouroboros and your Sigma that you want to go into. But more often than not, the deck turns into a Hail to Perfection, sit on the board with your Archlord Christia, and just stun them out until they want to literally hang themselves. Alright guys, so that's it for the deck profile. If you liked it, you can like the video, help us out a lot. Show your friends, show anyone you want. If you have any suggestions, feel free to comment below. We check the videos every day. I will definitely take into consideration, and I will do updates based on what changes are made. Alright guys, this is Kyle from Team Moon signing out. Thanks.